Hello everyone, my name is Max and today I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows 7 in VirtualBox. So first thing you need to do is click on the new button right here and name your computer whatever you want. So I'm just going to call it Windows 7. Now you're going to need an ISO image. I've already downloaded my own that I want. So I have a Service Pack 1 ISO right here. You can choose your own of choice. Now, in my case, I'm going to skip unattended installation. Now you go to version here, and you need to go to Windows 7. If you're using a ISO that is 32-bit or x86, you're going to want to choose this option right here, which is optimized for 32-bit operating systems. But in my case, it's 64-bit, so I'm going to choose this option. Since we're skipping unattended installation, we're not going to be going into this setting here, and we're going to skip all the way to hardware. I'm going to put 16 gigs of RAM since I have 24 gigs in my system. I would not recommend changing the processors here because it gets kind of screwy when it does that. Do not enable this option. It gets buggy when you do that. You need a minimum of at least 20 gigabytes, but in this case I'm going to be using 32. Then click the finish button. Now what you can do is you can change the display options. Without 3D acceleration, your computer kind of doesn't look that great. Which is why if you enable it, you can get up to 256 megabytes of dedicated video memory. You can also choose how many monitors you want to use at the same time when using a virtual machine in this setting. In here, you can also change whether or not this is a SSD that you're going to be using. If you're planning on connecting Windows 7 to the internet, I would suggest you select NAT and click Intel Pro /1000 MT server. Then click OK and start your VM. To get your machine into full screen, press the right control key and F at the same time. To exit host mode, press the right control key and you'll see your mouse again. Now that you're in the Windows 7 setup environment, you should see the next button down here. If you need to change any of the language settings here, please do so now. I am now going to click the next button and the install now button. From here, you'll see many options, or sometimes you might only have one. But since I have multiple options to choose from here, I'm going to be choosing Windows 7 Professional since I own a copy of it. Click the I accept license and terms box, then click Next. If you're upgrading from Windows Vista or XP, click the upgrade button. But since we're making a brand new installation, click Custom. Since we have a small drive, it's going to give you this warning, but you can still install. If you need to make a new partition or split it, you can click this button right here, but since it's too small to do that, we're just going to continue. Now Windows is going to begin setting up. At this point, you can leave your computer for a little while. At this point, the setup will automatically restart the VM. When you reach this screen, do not press any buttons. Now you should see this screen here. Depending on what hardware you gave your virtual machine, this shouldn't take too long. Now you should be at this screen here. First, let's type in a username. For me, I'm going to type in the username Max Gaming. You can also type in a custom computer name. I'm going to call this VM7. Then click the next button. Now you can type a password if you want. I'm going to type in my own password here. Then you need to confirm the password. Now, if you want to bypass a hint and not show any hint, you can just press the spacebar button on your keyboard. Now click Next. In this screen, you can set your time zone. For me, I have an Eastern time zone, so I'm going to select Eastern Time, US and Canada. When you get to this screen, if you've connected your VM to the network, you should see this. Since I'm connected to my home network, I'm going to choose that. If you are connected to a public network, or if you plan to continue to switch between networks on the go, I would select public network, which is stricter. But for me, I'm going to be selecting home. You should now see the welcome screen. And voila! Congratulations, you have now installed Windows 7 in VirtualBox. Now I'm going to go over the steps to install the VirtualBox Guest Editions for Windows 7. First, go all the way down here to the Devices tab. Click it and select this button here, which says Insert Guest Editions CD Image. Once you click it, you should have an autoplay prompt that pops up instantly. Click Run VBox Windows Editions.exe. Then click Yes. Click Next, Next, and if you have Direct3D enabled in your VM, make sure you have this checkbox checked. Then click Install. It should automatically start installing everything for you. If this pops up, just click Always Trust Software from Oracle Corporation, then click Install. If you get this pop up as well, just click Install this driver software anyways. Once it's done, you should see this appear on your screen. You can click Reboot Now or manually reboot later if you're trying to install some other things at the moment. Since I'm done, I'm going to click the Finish button, and it should reboot for me. Now that you're logged back into Windows 7, go ahead and exit full screen mode, then go back into full screen mode. You have just successfully installed VirtualBox Guest Editions. To enable Aero, right-click on the desktop, click Personalize, and then click on the Aero theme section where it says Windows 7. As always, thanks for watching.